The Dacian treasure and cultural heritage is impressive, a window into an ancient civilization with exceptional artifacts. For us, they hold deep meaning, but for thieves, they are merely opportunities for enrichment. We will analyze this theft of Dacian artifacts after 20 days to understand how it was possible, and we will reconstruct through 3D animations, step by step, the events based on information from the investigation and the press to understand the thieves' strategy. The helmet from Kosofinitidi, which was stolen, is one of the most valuable artifacts of the Ghetto-Dacian civilization dating from the 4th century BC and discovered in 1929. This massive gold helmet, decorated with zoomorphic and anthropomorphic motifs, had a ceremonial role symbolizing the status and power of the Ghetto-Dacian aristocracy. The Dacian gold bracelets, discovered at Sarmazagitusa Regia, date back to the time of the Dacian kings and are true masterpieces of metalworking art. These pieces of jewelry were most likely symbols of power, and the advanced technique used in their creation demonstrates the craftsmanship of the Dacian artisans. These treasures were exhibited at the prestigious Drents Museum in Assen, Netherlands, as part of the international exhibition Dacia, the Kingdom of Gold and Silver, open to the public since July 2024. The event was nearing its end. The exhibition was about to conclude in the very week the theft took place. We want Glow to be a source of continuous. To make this possible, we need your help. Subscribe to our channel. This simple gesture will allow us to invest in more captivating and realistic 3D animations and in higher quality videos. Thank you. On January 25th at 3:45 in the morning, 3 individuals broke into the Drents Museum using homemade explosives to force entry. In just a few minutes, they stole the helmet from Kosofiniti and 3 Dacian bracelets, managing to vanish before the police arrived on the scene. All right, but how did it come to this? Investigators are convinced that the theft was premeditated and organized several days in advance. Preparations seem to have started between January 22nd and 23 when the thieves stole a gray Volkswagen Golf from Alkmaar, a car well suited for such a mission, capable of moving quickly and remaining unnoticed. To cover their tracks, they replaced the license plates with one stolen from Whitmarsum near the A7 motorway. The car's route was first captured on January 23rd at 4:20 in Groningen with the new plates. After that, between January 23rd and 25, the vehicle disappeared from the surveillance camera's view. Police suspect it was hidden in Groningen, in the northern part of the Drenthe region, or in Assen. On the morning of the theft at 3:45, the Volkswagen Golf was spotted near the museum, and at 4 o'clock, the police were alerted to a fire beneath a viaduct. A few minutes later, the car was found burning under a bridge on Road N33 near Rolde, close to Assen. The investigation revealed footage capturing the start of the fire and another vehicle halted nearby. At 3:50, that vehicle headed south, toward Nieuwtjedak. In the morning, museum staff discovered that the Dacian artifacts were missing and alerted the Dutch authorities, who immediately launched an investigation. Investigators examined several possible routes, including one leading to the port of Rotterdam, one of the largest seaports in the world. Let's take a moment to focus on the moment when the thieves broke in. Exact details about the explosive were not made public, but it is believed they used plastic explosives or black powder. A common example is C4, a powerful explosive containing approximately 91% cyclotrimethylene trinitramine, with the remainder consisting of plasticizers and binders. This mixture gives it a malleable consistency, allowing it to be molded and applied directly to the target surface, in this case, the museum's external door. For the C4 to detonate, it is not enough to ignite it with fire, as is the case with gunpowder. It requires a strong shock wave, that is, an extremely rapid and intense impact. This shock wave is generated by a detonator, which acts as a trigger for the chemical reaction. During detonation, it produces hot gases, carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide, nitrogen, hydrogen, and water vapor, expanding at extremely high speeds, resulting in a violent explosion and generating temperatures over 4,000 degrees Celsius. This can be seen in the footage captured by the surveillance cameras. The shock wave generated by the C4 explosion can reach 8,000 mph, over 20 times faster than the speed of sound, enough to pulverize concrete, shatter bulletproof glass, and deform metal structures. They are responsible for the destructive force that broke the museum door structure. Plastic explosives are used in controlled demolitions and military operations, as they allow for precise placement and a directed effect. Additionally, C4 is very stable. It cannot be easily detonated by impact or fire and requires a special detonator. This method suggests that the thieves had technical knowledge of explosives. Investigators are also considering the possibility of using a mixture of black powder or gunpowder, a more accessible compound composed of potassium nitrate, 75%, carbon and sulfur. This type of explosive is sometimes preferred by criminals as it is easier to transport and can be obtained on the black market. Police are analyzing the traces left at the explosion site to determine exactly which substance was used. Investigators reviewed surveillance footage capturing the thieves as they entered the museum and detonated the explosive to reach the Smuggling, the room dedicated to temporary exhibitions at the Drents Museum, which housed the Dacian treasure. According to the museum's official website, the Smuggling is part of a modern annex of the museum, built in 2011. With thin walls and evident security vulnerabilities. This detail suggests that the thieves had planned the attack in advance and were familiar with the building's layout. Near the access door, investigators found a hammer, indicating that the thieves likely used it during the break-in. To gain entry, the suspects placed the explosive at one of the side entrances, avoiding the main entrance, which was better secured. They chose a quick entry and exit point since they had limited time to escape. The Smuggling was constructed using modern materials, reinforced concrete, bulletproof glass, and metal panels. In the access area, surveillance footage shows that the broken door was made of bulletproof glass mounted on a metal frame. This detail explains why the thieves needed explosives to force it open. The explosive was applied directly to the door, allowing the thieves to quickly enter the museum. Once inside, they acted swiftly and precisely. Instead of wasting time trying to disable the security systems, they immediately broke the display cases using a sledgehammer, which authorities later found abandoned at the back of the museum. In about 3 minutes, they stole the golden helmet from Kosofiniti and 3 Dacian gold bracelets. Then, they quickly left the museum premises. Before law enforcement arrived on the scene, the thieves retreated using the stolen Volkswagen Golf and a few minutes later, set the car on fire under a bridge near Roldick to destroy any potential evidence. Nearby, surveillance cameras captured a dark-colored Ford Transit strategically parked near the fire area. At 3:50, this vehicle headed south toward Nuichidak. It is believed that the thieves transferred the loot to this second vehicle and fled. This detail suggests the involvement of multiple accomplices and a well-planned strategy designed to eliminate any traces that might lead to their identification. On January 29th, Dutch police arrested 3 suspects in the city of Heerhugowaard. Following searches, authorities discovered 2 large hammers and a crowbar, which are believed to have been used during the theft. The suspects were identified thanks to clues provided by the public and analysis of the surveillance footage. Investigators released photos of clothing and a bag found near the museum. This evidence played a key role in apprehending the thieves. During interrogations, the suspects refused to cooperate and did not provide any information about the location of the stolen artifacts. In response, authorities decided to make the footage and the identities public in hopes of obtaining new leads. On January 31st, a judge extended the preventive detention by an additional 14 days while the investigation continues. Similar events in history have occurred before. The theft of the Dacian artifacts recalls other famous cases in history, such as the theft of the British Crown jewels in 1950, the disappearance of the Mona Lisa in 1911, or the Great Heist at the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum in 1990, where 13 works of art were stolen and have not been recovered to this day. These events show that such heists are well planned and that thieves often collaborate with private collectors or international networks involved in antiquities. Trafficking. The theft of the Dacian artifacts represents a severe loss for Romania's national heritage, but also an opportunity to draw international attention to their value. This case highlights the vulnerabilities of museum security systems and underscores the need for stricter measures to protect cultural heritage. We will continue to monitor the situation closely and, if necessary, we will return with new news and analyses, especially from a scientific perspective, as we like. Thank you for watching, and we invite you to stay with us here at Glows, where we aim to provide you with interesting and useful information. You can also find us on our website, glows.ro, where you can read this article and many others, both about science and everyday events. Also on our social media, X, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. See you soon. Bye.